the Retro Show.
We here with another episode, a real special one. We are here at Chocolate Cover Creations with the owners, man. The very owners that y'all been requesting for right here. And like I say, man, this is one of the dopest businesses, one of the most artful places I ever been in my life. You feel me? And I definitely have came here probably a handful of times, probably 5 to 10 times, and every time literally it's been good. Like I said, the service has been awesome, and literally I stand here just just looking at the art sometimes. So yeah, I definitely did y'all thing. I'm gonna let y'all introduce yourselves and how y'all where you from, how you grew up, stuff like that.
I'm Bree. I'm the owner of Chocolate Covered Creations. And then this is Eric.
Yeah, I'm Eric.
We started this business together back in 2019. 2019 out of our house. At first we were doing he did a clothing brand. He wanted to start his own gym, and then that wasn't working out. So we started doing what was it called? Party with Me.
Yeah.
And I was doing events and balloon garlands and table setups, and I did some small desserts for those because he has a lot of family. So I did all of their birthday parties, all of their weddings, all of everything that they were doing there. And then what happened? COVID happened, and so all the event halls closed down, and we couldn't have no more parties. So we started doing treats out of our house. And then I got pregnant, and whenever I had Ezra, we kind of blew up even more after that. We were getting orders every single day. All throughout the week, I was growing out of my kitchen. And then our co-owner, Sue, she was a customer of mine. Funny enough, she was friends with my aunt. She was best friends with my aunt. And we didn't put two and two together that I used to hang out with her kids back in the day. And we never put two and two together because he would normally be the one who would drop off the cheesecakes or go and deliver them outside or whatever. Whenever she picked them up at our house, and then eventually she came to me with a proposal and was like, "Hey, have you ever thought about opening a brick and mortar?" And I'm like, "Yeah, of course, that's a dream of mine, but I don't have the knowledge or experience nor the money to do so because I was pretty much a stay-at-home mom, other than selling the treats and stuff."
So not to cut you off, but then growing up, did y'all ever see yourself in a business like this, or ever think about being in business? Period.
So I like business. She doesn't really like business. That's my strong suit.
Yeah.
So that's where we fit really well because she likes being the artistic person.
I love being in the back cooking and baking,
Yeah.
and I like
She does
really
all the desserts
getting
and the
creative.
cakes and stuff, and I kind of just run the day to day and get the
He
employees
deals
and
with
the
the
supplies.
employees and
So
supply runs.
growing up, I come from a Mexican American household. My parents are from Mexico, so I'm a first generation. And my dad had a lawn care business. And growing up, I'm like, oh, he doesn't got a boss.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. So that made me want to be in the future, own my own business. So then started working at a steel mill. And I'd be there at 3 a.m. every day. I'm like, I could do a lot more than just doing this.
Facts.
So we kind of just worked on the party with me with her, and that COVID happened, so we had to kind of stop that. But she also did treats and stuff,
Yeah.
and we're like,
But I always knew from being a kid, I always knew I wanted to bake. From the very beginning, my parents would put me in baking competitions whenever I was real little. I'm saying 8, 9 years old, and I won competitions like crazy, and then it kind of staggered off. Yeah, baking's fun or whatever, but I need a serious thing. So I went to cosmetology school, and I was trying to be a hairdresser and do nails and makeup, and because that was one of my biggest passions back in the day, and I had a lot of fun with it because creativity, you get to bring that out a lot in that. And I shattered my tailbone, and then I got kicked out because you can only miss so many hours. And then I tried to appeal it, and then the appeal failed, and then I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna do something different.
I feel like that's destiny, though.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's how the universe works. It's you got one route, one way that you're going, and it kind of steers you to the whole opposite direction.
Yeah, because the whole time I was trying to do the clothing brand, it was like gym stuff.
Yeah.
And like at the time we were learning social media, so when it was first like growing, and like I'd be at the steel mill listening to this podcast from his name's Andy Priscilla.
Yeah.
He owns First Form and stuff
Oh
in the
yeah,
superstores.
that's
And
great.
he had the biggest podcast, business podcast in the world, and I would listen to that every day when I was working at the warehouse. So I'm listening to it. I'm like, okay. So I quit the warehouse to go work for Andy and stuff, and he taught us a lot about business and stuff. He had like Monday meetings and stuff. So we went there. I learned that, and then I'm like, my clothing brand wasn't really doing good because I'm not social media focused.
Yeah.
She's really good at social media. She takes all the pictures, like edits them. She takes all the videos.
I'm really picky about my
She,
pictures.
she makes everything like picture perfect. The way we like constructed this play is we made everything like you can take a picture everywhere, so people can like post a selfie on Snapchat, Instagram,
Because that's free
Facebook.
marketing.
So that's why we built it this way. And like she's really good at that. And like when I was doing the clothing brand, I didn't really do the social media and stuff.
Yeah.
It was just word of mouth and stuff. And I had I capped out on everyone I knew and stuff. And like your friends and family is not gonna support your business your whole time. You have to like extend like
Because they can only
branch
buy
out.
so many clothes.
So
you know?
I'm just like, all right, I'm not really messing with the social media, but she's really good at it. So let's focus on her for now.
Yeah, I made like a perfect 10. And you just said you started at 8 years old making.
Yeah.
I'm 29 years old and I still can't bake. So you
Hey,
was basically.
I can bake like nobody's business, but I cannot for the life of me cook like actual food. Like what Michi does, I could
Yeah.
never.
And that's crazy though, 'cause you was, you would think like, all right, it's kind of the same, but it's like you said, it's not.
Yeah.
I can't cook either though.
It's something about
Yeah.
meat. I don't know.
I'm an air fryer.
I'm always scared that it's like.
I'm an air fryer type of person.
Yeah.
I'm always afraid like it's still raw in the middle, so I'll either overcook the hell out of it or I will undercook it.
That's me. So how did y'all meet? Like, go
High
back.
school.
High
We're
school.
high school
Oh,
sweethearts.
that's
Yeah.
dope.
So it was my senior year and her junior year.
We met in second hour, and the first couple of days I was like, he's kind of cute. I kind of like him. And I went and told my friends in third hour. And then the day after that, I was like, no, he talks too much. And then the day after that, I was like, yeah, okay, I'll give it a shot. And then I messaged him, and we went from there.
Yeah, that's dope. 'Cause that's literally a similar story to like you said with me too. You know,
Yeah.
in high school y'all met in high school and
Yeah.
giving each other all this time. So when y'all first got together, like you said, you already knew it. Y'all had chemistry. Graduating, y'all went different paths. You see, with cosmetology, you went to steel mill. And I said I worked at the steel mill, so I know how
Well,
time.
I went to college actually for
Okay.
2 years, but like I was in class and I was drawing like designs for my clothing brand. And I'm just sitting there in college and I'm just like, how am I paying these people to like learn something that you can just learn by doing and just going out there and like actually trying it. So I dropped out of college. I went to the steel mill because at the time I was like 18 and I was getting paid like $24 an hour in like 2015, which is a lot of money for like an 18-year-old.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, all right, all this money that I'm making, I'll reinvest it in the business.
Oh, man, back then we wasted so much money.
But you gotta lose. I'm like, you gotta lose money. To waste money to understand like how money works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was kind of crazy how that all happened.
What trying to think like as far as the name, just Topic Cover Creations. How did y'all come up with the name?
Well, so we were sitting in the living room floor for a couple of hours, and we were like rattling off names, like with him, his sister, his brother, because we all lived in the same house, and we were just going back and forth with names. And because I did mainly chocolate covered treats like strawberries, pineapples, pretzels, all of that, and that was my main focus because I really got creative with the strawberries mainly. And so someone said, I can't remember who said it, but someone said chocolate covered creations, and it rhymed, it flowed well, and that's just what we picked, and we went from there, and we never changed it, even though we became a cafe. We just kind of threw cafe at the end of it.
Because like coffee and like what we do here wasn't actually a part of the original plan. We were just doing chocolate dipped strawberries, and she makes custom ones. And then the first thing we always do when we start a business was like gotta brand it and come up with a logo first. Like so so we can like actually make it a thing.
Yeah.
So I asked the designer, he used to design my clothing brand, to make us a logo, and then he made us that logo, and it kind of just stuck because it did a really good job with like the chocolate dripping off
Yeah,
the
it's dope.
name and stuff on the strawberry. So we got the name, but yeah, it took us a long time. It took us like a week, and like people kept saying, well, you can't go with chocolate covered creation because like what if you guys expand and like you guys do something completely different?
That was one
And
thing my grandma told me.
at the time we're like, we're not gonna expand, we're just gonna do strawberry.
Yeah.
Like we never pictured a coffee shop.
Yeah.
Like we just pictured like doing online sales, like shipping stuff out.
Because who would have ever thought? Like I always thought this was just gonna be like a little small thing for me to do on the side to make some extra money or whatever. And then Sue, our co-owner, she came up to us and she was like, "Here's $20,000. Open a brick and mortar. Who's gonna give some random ass kids
And like
$20,000?"
Well, she was like, "Do you guys want to go into business? I can get the number for the brick and mortar for that place down there."
And that was such a good location.
And like me, like I'm like, no one just goes into business with like two 22-year-olds.
Yeah.
Like,
So she was like a customer
crazy.
at first.
Yeah, she was a customer for a whole year.
Okay.
So every like Thursday she would order a cheesesteak.
Yeah, that's dope though. So
and then she was like, "Hey, do you want to ever expand?" And she told Bree, I don't do like the messaging with the customers or anything. She does. So Bree tells me, "Hey, this lady wants to like go into business with us." I'm like, "Bro, no one just ran into business. You know, no one gets that type of
because she
opportunity."
wasn't the first one who would come to me with this proposal. One lady, she worked in City Hall, I think, or for the school district or something. And she was like, "Hey, have you ever thought about expanding or whatever?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'd love to, but I don't, have the money or knowledge to do it." And so that kind of just died down because she wasn't wanting to partner up. She just wanted me to expand and wanted me to grow, which is very nice. But we didn't have
there was like
the
no
funds to do
locations
so.
at the time, and so like
we like because this place had been empty for so long, we never thought to like, that's for
I
sale
lived right
or that's
behind
for
Meach,
rent or whatever.
so I would go home. I would walk home every day from school. And like for 10 years, it was just there empty.
Yeah.
I'm like, I wonder if anyone's ever gonna do that. In my head, I always wondered that. And then when we actually got in there, and we were the first people to do something in there, it was kind of crazy. Like to think back at like how I would walk past it all the time and think that.
Because the owner of that building, the landlord, he is some doctor in Edwardsville or whatever. I think
St. Louis.
Well, in St. Louis maybe. And he was really hard to get a hold of because he didn't want nothing to do with it. It was just sitting there. He wasn't paying nothing for taxes there because it's such a small little lot.
Yeah.
And
I always thought that was like a gas station. I always used to be like, no, this has to be a gas station.
Yeah.
No, it was a gas
It
station.
was.
And then like they tore down all the gas equipment and got like rid of it. So a year before we got in there was a guy trying to work on it, but I think he passed away from like a brain aneurysm. So like then it just sat empty for a year.
Because they were just gonna make it like a little market, like Farm Fresh.
Yeah. And then he passed away, and like but the owner of the building got the gas pumps removed and stuff. And we just had it there we saw it there for a year, like not getting like nothing done. And then
cleaned it up, fixed it up, had the parking lot redone, new HVAC unit in.
When like the lady, when Sue messaged her about like getting into brick and mortar, I didn't believe it. I was working at First Form at the time.
20,000. So that's how she initially came at you, like, yo, I have 20,000.
No. We didn't discuss money.
That's crazy.
We didn't discuss money until way like that was like our limit. Like she was like, "I'll keep giving you money if you need it, but like your cap out is at 20,000. Like that's all I'm giving you. The rest is up to you guys."
Yeah, and like
whenever I tell you, we were starting from the bare minimum because one of those espresso machines that we got is $15,000 alone.
Woo.
We luckily found the one that we had for $900 off of an auction. It had $1,400 worth of work needed to be done to it, but like that is still a
that's a blessing.
Because
like you said, going into it, you guys thought I was going to be basically selling treats. You didn't really,
Yeah, we had to figure out something to keep making revenue because
we
was not going to make that much money.
Before like we discussed what we wanted to be, we were talking like we can only sell treats, but there's already too many bakeries in town. Like it was
you got Duke's
and it was Sweet Treats from the Heart
and Schnucks and
Walmart.
Of course, those are hard to.
And we're like, that's not. We need something different. We need something that's gonna be like set us apart from everywhere else. So,
and at the time there were no coffee shops except for the Board Gamery, which was downtown Granite.
yeah.
So like we weren't competing with much in the beginning, and then as soon as we got into that location, Manhattan announced that they were opening.
We got 10 coffee shops in the city after that.
Yep.
So like
After that, it was like every 3 months there was a new coffee shop coming. Every 3 months.
I could tell. I witnessed that. Yeah, I feel like what y'all influence literally brought the coffee world, or you know what I'm saying, the trees world into the popular eye. You know, because obviously we had a few, but I feel like y'all made it super popular. You know what I'm saying? And just the way y'all did it, like you said, with the color schemes, just the art, just popping.
Because
you
a
know,
lot of coffee shops is very like neutral, very calm, and we definitely wanted to bring that like pop of color, pop of energy into the atmosphere, and that's why kind of not why we went with anime, but that is tied into the anime because we had traveled from Florida to Chicago and all these other places that carried boba, which was another reason why we wanted to do boba. Because one, I was addicted for the longest time. The first time I tried boba, we were in Orlando, and I tried boba for the first time. I'm like, nah, this is so good.
Well, so what? Because me, I don't know. My daughter and my girl, they love boba. So can you explain to the people like that don't know what that is? Can you kind of explain to them?
So boba is kind of like a blanketed name for it, but there are so many types of drinks that you can put boba into. So the boba itself is just a little pearls.
Okay.
And you can get popping, jelly, tapioca, which is the chewy ones. There's so many different kinds, and you just throw it into any drink. So we have our lemonade bobas, we have our milk tea bobas, and then we have our slushy bobas. Is that all the ones we've got? A lot of other places that are just boba shops have a very large, wide variety of different kinds, but our main ones are our milk teas. My favorite is either the zombie or the brown sugar milk tea. So they're just flavored drinks with little pops of flavor.
I never knew.
Yeah.
And I think I came here a couple times, and she was like, "You want third?" And I'm like you said, I get the lemonade. And I'm like, I just give you a regular. And I'm just like, man, I messed up.
You gotta try some of the good ones.
I'm just like,
so, like in the beginning when we were like discussing what we wanted to be, is we wanted to like mix like different cultures.
Yeah.
So like I'm Mexican, she's American, so okay, we got some Mexican treats, some American treats. So how do we tie in boba? So then that's when we went with the anime art style.
Yeah.
So then it's kind of like Asian culture.
They all
Yeah.
had like all the other boba
Yeah.
shops we went to had like anime tied into like the art of it,
Yeah.
but like it was very neutral. It was very like black and white or like just little tiny pieces here and there. And like we're like, nah, we're going full scale.
Yeah.
Anime everywhere, color everywhere.
because when I think of coffee shop, I do think of like, older people. They sitting there, like you say, it's dark. They probably on their laptop doing, little business work or having little meetings. But like you said, with here, it's like, the same vibe. I feel like you can do the same thing. But like you said, it's popping, it's bright, it's inspiring. It's not just dull.
To me, those
office
other ones
life.
are very depressing. Whenever I come in here, like I get happy every time.
Yeah.
Like you think eventually I would get like bored or like aggravated with being here all the time,
Yeah.
but no, like this place makes me so happy because one is so colorful
Yeah.
and inviting, and like just
Fresh.
our employees and because most of our employees are family. It just gives it this homey feeling that it's just comfortable.
What were some biggest challenges you had to overcome before opening up? A shop period.
The first challenges would be like during COVID, there's limited amount of like contractors and stuff. So and then supplies were a little more expensive at the time. So like when we were fixing the first shop up, like our contractors were like busy because like they were overworking themselves because like not that many people were doing stuff throughout COVID. So like one of our contractors, he had a lot of like other like side jobs that he had to get done on top of ours, which was like a bigger job.
Yeah.
And like he was like only scheduled for like the weekends for us.
Yeah.
But like we're getting material and all that, like he didn't have that much time to get it done. So contractors get into like fix the first shop up, and then the landlord kind of like not being kind of hard to reach at the beginning. Like if something needed fixed, he'd like give the money, but he would want us to fix it, and then
He would want us to
repay us.
schedule everything, and
Yeah, and he'd be like,
which is fine, but like we don't own the building, so it's
So it's like, how much are you willing to pay to fix this
Right.
before we actually contact someone?
Yeah.
Because like,
Because there was a couple times when the roof was leaking that we would call and have people out, but then he would be like, "No, I'm not paying that much," and then he would bring his own people, and I'm like, "Well, you
And-
could have done that to
and these
begin
people-
with."
like he had to get this roof fixed like 3 times because they didn't know what they were doing.
Yeah,
Like they put some weird foam on it instead of
Literally
actually
just
patching
spray
the
foam
hole,
trying to patch
and
the
like
roof.
it just made it worse.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right. So like contractors get into the landlord to respond a little bit in the beginning, because like we don't know like what his budget was, like even like fixing the building up, and then
When I swear one time I had a raccoon in the room.
That's
Yeah.
great.
and then
Boy, whenever I was working overnights and it was literally just me staying overnight baking, and I would hear something up in the roof because there was a huge hole in the roof, you know, and I'm like, no way right now.
yeah. What else?
So eventually it got fixed or whatever, but
And then scheduling all like the appointments to get like make sure our electric is up to code,
Yeah.
and like the fire's up to code, and like all that stuff. It was tedious because
Because the city
because
don't.
also we didn't know what we were doing.
yeah,
We
our
had no
co-owner,
clue what all we
our co-owner
needed.
knew a lot about it,
Yeah.
and like she'd be like, yeah,
She
that
was
should
so
be.
helpful.
So she had a business before. Like,
Uh,
So
they-
she and her husband owned 007 motorcycle shop down
is
in
that Madison, right?
Madison,
Yep.
yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, our
And
co-owner
then
is
she's
like,
also the right hand man for the Madison mayor right now.
Yeah, she's the treasurer of Madison.
What's up? I gotta know her then. What's her?
Sue
Sue,
Pierre.
I know. Yep, I know Sue. I do know Sue.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Sue, she's our co-owner.
Yeah.
So she without her, none of this would have like happened in the beginning.
Because we don't know, like, we don't know how to talk to, you know, professionals in the city hall. We don't know
Yeah.
how to handle anything on her side.
Yeah, because we were like
of the
we were
business.
like young. We were like 20. I was 22. She was 21.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like just running us out of the home, and we're just like, yeah, we can help like expand, but we don't know what we're doing. We don't know who to call or like any of that. But Sue had all that knowledge and stuff.
Connections.
So she's like, yeah, I'll help you guys out. I'm like, at the beginning, I didn't believe it. For
Yeah.
nothing. I was like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't show up to the
What?
meetings. And I'm like, nah, I don't really know what's going
What
on.
sane person do you know would just throw $20,000 and
Sue.
2 kids
Yeah.
running a bakery at their house?
But that's how you know you have something special though. Like
Yeah.
for somebody to say, because like I said with Michi for example, he's like his mom. You know, obviously your mom always gonna support you, but like you said, having a person that's not even related to you,
Yeah.
willing to say, I want y'all to expand. I want to see y'all or see a bigger picture for y'all. You know, that's crazy. You don't get that often.
No.
You know?
So it was crazy.
It was a blessing,
Yeah,
and it was a huge shock for both of us because, wow, I don't know what we would be doing if she hadn't have come up to us with that.
I mean, eventually, I feel like y'all would have still, got to this point. Probably would have taken a longer. I always
A
say,
lot longer,
yeah,
yeah.
it might have took, a lot longer.
Look, we're not the best with our spending, but
Yeah, but like you said, it's first time business. Cause
Yeah.
just like me, I never had nobody in my family that ever had a business. So I didn't know nothing. And that's the vibe.
and that's scary because
Yeah.
my family never had no type of business. My
Yeah.
parents owned some land or like some apartments or whatever, but that's the only kind of
Yeah.
business that they had going. My parents were always like, work hard, work hard, work hard.
Yeah.
Never
And
for yourself.
And that was the
that's scary.
I feel like that's the traditional way. Like I feel like you can, working at the steel, you probably heard the guys, I worked here 60 years, retired.
Well, that's another reason
Yeah.
I wanted to get out of there. Because, like, all the guys were cool because they were all
Yeah.
related. But, like, they always sounded to the press
Yeah.
about, like, their job. They're like, I should have done something else. I'm like, when I started there, I
Yeah.
told the guys, I'm like, I'm only here for a year.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to, like, work on this clothing brand. It's going to, like, pop off. Like, I did all the work. I had, like, people from out of, like, overseas, like, getting my clothes done, like, logos and everything. And I'm like, I'm going to be out of here in, like, a year. But then, like, a bunch of random stuff happened, and I ended up staying there.
And getting a good quality clothing
Yeah,
item is so hard because they're not gonna just send you like one item of clothing for sample. Like some of them did,
Yeah,
but
we had-
like you still had to pay for it. Plus the shipping was
Yeah.
expensive. It would be like $80 for one
Yeah,
item.
because I went through like 8 suppliers, and then I found a really good supplier.
And then they got hit with the
And
tsunami.
they got hit with a tsunami because they were from the Philippines.
Yeah.
And like it took out my
Their
supplier,
whole
and that's why I
place
just
got
that's
wiped.
why I had to quit doing that because like it was like moving, but like once my like the supplier that I liked like got taken out, I'm like I'm not dealing with any other suppliers.
it's tough.
They were all like just not
And
really
you
good.
had to wake up like hella late because like their time is different from hours.
Yeah,
And
so like,
talking to them was hard.
and a lot of them wanted to do a heat press. I don't like the heat press because like once you dry it too much, it starts cracking. So I went with screen print, and like if you go to screen printed here, a lot of people like just screen print on like Gildans or like Hanes and stuff. But all the fabric that I was getting was custom made, custom sizes and everything. And like they were screen printing. And like if you do like 5 colors here, it's like a $30 shirt. And over there it was like a $5 shirt for like freaking 6 color schemes. And like the quality was like great. Like my shirts didn't shrink enough.
Like you said, you can literally pick which materials, cottons you want, you know, stuff like
and
that.
like in the beginning I didn't know because he's like, do you want a 96% cotton or a 50-50 blend? I'm like, look bro, I need something that when I put it in the dryer, it does not shrink. It needs to be like athletic wear and stuff.
But not like that cheap athletic wear, you know what I'm saying? Like that weird,
like,
it's just like weird texture.
So
I don't know.
it was just crazy. So like I'm like,
It's like
I gotta get out of the steel mill. I'm gonna work on this clothing brand. But then COVID happened, my supplier got taken out. But she was doing the strawberries also. We were running both things at once. And,
his family was a huge help because I just got to practice with him because he's got a huge family. And like I come from like a 4-family household, and like our families don't really, you know, talk or hang out a whole lot. So his family, coming into his family, and they're all Mexican. Most of them don't speak a whole lot of English, and I kind of got a culture shock whenever I first started hanging out with him. And finally, we started doing the strawberries and whatever, and so that's how I started practicing on everything that I
was
did.
it like a family member, or who was like the first person that you could think of that was like, man, yo, these strawberries is too good, you gotta sell it?
So my cousin Julie, she's one of the reporters. She told Bree, she's like, oh, you should sell these online. It was around Halloween, and she was like,
no, it was for Trito's birthday party.
Yeah, it was around.
It was in October. It was like the mid-October range, and we were doing a birthday party for him. He was turning 1, and so it was like a cocomelon themed birthday. So we were dipping some strawberries. She was like, hey, I need you to help me dip some strawberries. I'm like, okay, I've never done that before, but let me try. And so we were warming up the chocolate. We were dipping the strawberries, and they were all wrinkly. I was like, what is going on? Because it was like the candy melts. They weren't like actually chocolate.
In the beginning, we used like almond bark. So like it's like a cheaper candy made chocolate. But in the beginning, we didn't know nothing about it. So we're just like
experiments.
And then a customer came up to me. She was like, hey, I used to dip chocolate covered strawberries too. And I just want to let you know that this is not good chocolate. You shouldn't be using this. And then at first I was kind of like, ooh, okay. Like I thought that she was like trying to say that she was better than me or whatever, but that wasn't it. She was so nice. And she was just like, hey, this is a better alternative. Start using this brand or this brand. And eventually, like, if people don't come up to me and tell me my stuff is bad, I'm not gonna know because people are still buying it. And so eventually I'm like, oh, okay, that does taste a lot better, and it doesn't like wrinkle quickly. So if you overheat almond bark or any of the fake chocolate, it will start wrinkling. I mean, regular chocolate does that too, but it takes a little longer, like at a higher temperature. And it just looks so bad. Like you can feel it's burnt, you can taste it's burnt. It's
so different, but that's cool though that y'all was, you know, still humble enough to even say, listen to somebody, you know, that's trying to give, you know, and implement that. Or, you know,
that's why we still try and say that to our customers now. If something is wrong, come to us and say something, or else we're not gonna know. Because we get that problem. Not, I wouldn't say often, but like every once in a while, we'll be like, a customer will come up and be like, my drink wasn't made right, and I'm like, right.
Like I said, I've honestly never seen nobody complain to everybody. So there's only good reviews online, only good reviews people in here, good, you know, good vibes. So
I think the only complaints online is when we don't have chocolate covered strawberries. The people will complain on Google and say they don't have nothing chocolate covered. We'll have cake pops, pretzels, pineapples, but no strawberries.
Our
and that's what they complain about.
Are like, oh, they're not a chocolate store. They don't have like people complain about our name. So before we moved over, we're like, should we change your name? I'm like, but then like if we just change your name on social media, we have like 11K followers on Facebook. We're like, then people are gonna be confused and not know what's going on, and like, so we're just like, let's just stick to the logo. It is what it is.
People already know us by chocolate covered creations or chocolate covered
so
or
when we
C4
first opened over
whatever.
there, people would come in and be like, this isn't a candy shop. There's no chocolate. I'm like,
oh, in the beginning it was so bad.
I'm like, we have chocolate, a bunch of things. We have chocolate muffins. We got chocolate strawberries. We got
you can get any of your drinks covered in chocolate.
And everyone only
it's not just strawberries. I know our logo is a strawberry, but it's not just.
And the thing is, people would only emphasize on the chocolate covered creations. They just cut out the cafe.
Yeah.
I'm like, it says cafe at the end.
Yeah.
Like we sell drinks, like a bunch of treats. Like we're not like a candy shop.
Right.
If we were just candy, we would not be able to survive.
Yeah, because I feel like that, like you said, it's tough to just be one dimensional, especially 2025.
Like if you go up to the mall, how many places have been through that Tivana place? It was right next to Icing.
Oh, yeah.
Same place. So many places have been up through there, and they've been candy shops. They've been balloon shops. They've been like so many different places there, and you can't suffice off of just one item.
Definitely can. So you said 11K followers. How did y'all, build that strong community of people?
Granite City.
Yeah, Granite.
Granite
It's
City
a really
is
good
a
community.
huge, yeah.
I mean, especially because like we didn't have a lot of things here, and like we were like when we started, we're like, do we even want to open in Granite, or like do we want to go somewhere else?
Because Granite
And,
gets
like,
such a bad red.
Yeah.
Like everyone talks so
And
much
we were-
trash on Granite.
When we were talking about it, we were like, we want to have something for the kids,
Yeah.
like make a place where people could come out, hang out, like with the younger generation, have somewhere cool. And we're like, let's do it here in town, get the kids out here, and that's why we do the anime also.
Yeah.
So
Definitely attractive for sure, but to even 11,000 people,
I don't know.
that's
Honestly,
insane.
I don't know how that happened.
we used to do a lot of events in the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we would go to like 60 Space. We'd set up down there. We would there was a coffee shop in Troy, and they used to buy cake pops from us,
Oh,
and
yeah.
like they would get her name out there for us. And then we would used to deliver stuff to Collinsville. And then I worked, the first one was in Vincent, Missouri.
Yeah.
And like I got all my friends there to buy strawberries and follow our page.
It's
and
honestly a
then-
bunch of word of mouth.
Yeah, they
and
would just share it and stuff. So like
connecting
just
with
everywhere.
other businesses.
Yeah, natural organic. I feel like them the best like followers too. Like when you get organic, like you said, just word of mouth. People,
Or we did a bunch of not a bunch, I should say. Like I think we did like 3 giveaways where we were like, share, comment, and tag your friends. And if you're following us, you'll be entered into the giveaway or whatever. And we gave away one of those rugs that's on our wall over there. We did a month of free drinks, 1 per day. What else did we give away? I think it's strawberry
boxes.
pack. Yeah, strawberry boxes.
Yeah, I know the people are super happy with it. All of those.
Mhm.
All right, what's like something you guys offer that like we said earlier, you battling with big coffee places now. Like you said, we just got scooters. You have other, like you said, Starbucks is not too far from here. But what do you offer here that like other people or other businesses like that they can't offer you?
So I think
Fresh
we
desserts.
offer like so much from the traditional
Yeah.
coffee shop. Cause like other coffee shops only like offer pastries and like cake pops.
Mhm.
But we offer chocolate dipped strawberries. We also we do like cheesecakes,
Yeah.
full cheesecakes.
Fresh
we-
pastries that are made in-house.
We tie in like the Mexican culture too. We'll have like churro cheesecake bars or like churros sometimes. So like it's like all over the place because like we do
And
such
a lot of
like
other coffee
vast mix
shops,
of
like,
cultures.
You
Yeah,
don't
that's dope.
see Starbucks or Scooters doing very well with their bobas
Yeah.
or their energy drinks because they know, last time I had a Scooters energy drink, it tasted like cough medicine. I'm not gonna lie.
But I think that's why they went back to the Red Bull.
Yeah, they did go back to
A
the
lot
Red
of people
Bull
do the
infusers,
infused
which
Red
are
Bulls.
good.
Yeah.
I do like those.
But and then we like no one in this area was doing like Lotus energy drinks.
Yeah.
So we make a bunch of like Lotus energy drinks with a bunch of combinations. We have like a really big variety of sugar-free coffees and regular coffees, and then we do like most people when they do cold foams on their coffee, they stick to 2 flavors, but we have like 15 different flavors you can do the cold foam,
Mhm.
and then we do lemonades. We used to work our first fast food job was up in the mall was Charlie's, the Philly cheesesteak.
We worked that
And
together.
when
You
we
got
opened,
me the job.
when we opened, I'm like, I need to create the lemonade. The strawberry lemonade is
Yeah,
my
that is
favorite
fire
thing.
though.
It's
So
fire.
I went through like 6 different versions of lemonade
Yeah.
before we got the one we wanted down, and so we offer that
Oh
with a
boy, I
boba.
remember going. Oh, I hate lemonade, by the way. And whenever we were trying to make the recipe for it, he kept having, here, try this, here,
Yeah.
try this. I'm like, no.
But y'all, I feel like y'all definitely, and that's crazy that you said that because my favorite lemonade probably, like you said, was Charlie's.
Charlie's.
But I come here all the time just for strawberry, just for lemonade,
Mhm.
all the time. Bro.
Yeah.
Literally,
So
it's
like,
fire.
cause like one of my employees, like one of the newer ones, she doesn't know like how it all started. She's like, yeah, you know your lemonade. someone came in and said that it kind of tastes like Charlie's.
Thank you.
I
Thank
said it's
you.
good. That was my inspiration. It's not
We
at
don't
their
do the
level.
fruit
Yeah.
chunks
It's not at their level, but
like they do.
I try to get it as close as possible
Yeah.
because like that's my favorite like lemonade from anywhere. So like I'm like, and the reason is they use like a puree with like chopped strawberries in it, and we can't have that because like we don't have like.
I mean, we could. We just don't got the space.
And then like it's like more expensive of a drink, and like we try to keep everything at a decent price.
Yeah.
Because
So, like-
Granite is a lower income area, so we try and keep everything as low as possible. Like people will come in and complain about our strawberry prices. I mean, they're $3 a piece, which I do agree is kind of expensive, but they are expensive to make. Like we use premium Ghirardelli chocolate, and we hand pick our strawberries where there's no dents, no bruises, no squishiness, no nothing. Because I refuse to bite into a strawberry and it's squishy.
And then like
It's gross.
in the 4 years, like, we've been only this will be our third year open, but in like the years we've opened, we set our prices to where we wouldn't have to like up them as the prices
Yeah.
went up. So they've still stayed the same since we opened,
Yeah.
but like stuff gets
It's hard
expensive.
to do
for sure.
because
Yeah.
eggs,
Everything
the
going down.
fluctuation of eggs
Yeah,
is
like,
crazy. They'd be $9
yeah.
for a big ass box of 90 of them,
And I went to
and now they're
I went to
$22.
I went to Sam's Club. They were $32
$32
for the same amount of eggs.
Yeah.
That was $12 like a month or
Facts.
two ago. So it's just crazy.
Yeah, that's facts though. The cost of food is like you said, it's skyrocketed, man. So obviously, like you said, I feel like our prices are good, but you know, I feel like if it ain't free, people don't complain.
Yeah.
And then like but and like for our strawberries, we do use like a more expensive like chocolate compared to like a lot of places.
Yeah.
Like we don't just use almond bark or
There's a couple other brands that
candy
we've tried
milk
out
and stuff.
that
We stick to Ghirardelli, which is like for 25 pounds of like Ghirardelli chocolate, it's like $180, and it's like it only gets you so many strawberries. So like it, and then in the summer, strawberries are like $6,
Yeah.
but then in the winter, they're like $12 a box.
see.
So like
and
it's
we're
just
not upcharging for that.
so we just keep them at that price because like it.
We're still making a little bit of profit on them
Yeah.
during the winter time, but it would not be worth it to lower them during the summertime because then, yeah, we will be losing what money we do have in the winter time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like in the summertime, you guys are gonna be like we're gonna be making more profit in the summer, but we're not gonna be making much profit in the winter time. So that money is going
And
towards
then like
winter
the
time.
strawberries are grosser in the winter,
Yeah.
so you get a box of 10 like for $12, and then you only get like 5 good strawberries out of
Yeah.
there. So like you're not like taking into consideration our employee that we had dip them, or like the time,
Yeah,
or also
exactly.
like just
Time is money.
the chocolate material itself.
Yeah, but like I don't think a lot of people like do that. You know, they just thinking all it's chocolate, so they thinking it's just one chocolate. Like you said, all
It's
like
just
you
one
said,
little
yeah.
strawberry. Why are you charging $3
Yeah, they
for
just
it? Like,
you just getting random
I
strawberries.
get it. Trust me,
yeah.
I do. But like, we have to. We're business people. We have to do what we gotta do.
But I feel like y'all kind of like trendy too. Like I ain't gonna lie. Like I said, my daughter with TikTok, she always keeps me like super hip on stuff, and she was like, "I need some Dubai chocolate." And literally, I swear, this was like 2-3 days ago. I swear. As soon as she said that, I got on Facebook and I seen y'all made, you know.
That's
so
so
I'm like,
crazy.
that's
We've
crazy.
been working with a Dubai chocolates for like 6-7 months.
Yeah, for
But
a
like
while
it's
now.
so expensive. Like
Yeah.
if we would like sell it now, it'd be like $35 for a
Yeah.
chocolate bar.
For
And,
one
like,
chocolate
yeah,
bar,
the,
like,
like,
and that's what they're
pistachio
going for.
paste.
Like, they're $45 on TikTok
The
shop.
pistachio picks that we bought was like $20 and only made 2 bars.
Dang.
Yeah.
It
Is
was,
the bars
it was
like how big?
$25 for this little AB thing.
Of paste.
Of
That's the main
pistachio
ingredient in
paste.
there. So like we only got 2 bars out of it, and it's already $20. And we're just like, we can't release it until we find like a cheaper way to create it.
Mhm.
But we still want it to taste good.
Yeah.
So we're just like, so we have Ghirardelli, but we had to switch over to like a different chocolate.
Yeah.
Because Ghirardelli chocolate
It's
is way too rich,
strong.
Yeah.
so like it overpowers the pistachio paste. So we actually had to switch over to Calibert. It's a little less rich in the chocolate flavor.
Yeah.
It's
So,
still
like,
a good chocolate. It's still like.
it's
really
actually
up
more
there, but
expensive. It's more
we won't
expensive than
use it on
Ghirardelli,
anything
which
else.
is kind of crazy. But like we were using that because it's like less like of a rich flavor, and it actually brings out the pistachio flavor. But like we haven't released it because like once we finally got the recipe
Yeah.
down,
We have to buy more
we
ingredients.
ran out of ingredients,
Yeah.
and then we overnighted it so we could have some today.
Yeah.
But
They
Amazon
made
was
me
like,
so mad. They
Amazon was like, actually, it won't be here till like Thursday.
And I
So-
paid extra.
Yeah, they do that. I feel like Amazon Prime ain't what it used to be though.
Not at all. I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt because it's cold and it's.
And they just got done with like the holiday rush
Yeah.
and like returns and the storm that just happened.
Yeah.
So it happens, but like.
That would be nice for now, but if they do this in the summertime, I'm gonna be mad.
What's y'all favorite items on y'all menu? Like, if you had to pick one thing, no matter what it is, one thing, what would you choose off the menu?
For me, it's our milk chocolate strawberries. Like that's I could eat those all day long.
There's too much fun. My favorite is the strawberry cheesecake. She doesn't like cheesecake, and the reason she even got into cheesecakes was because like it's my favorite dessert. I don't like cakes.
I love cheesecake.
So like when people give me cupcakes or cakes, I take the icing off.
Yeah.
That's just too sweet. I'm like, I don't want that. I just want like
and I'm
bread.
the person who would eat his icing.
Yeah. So I'm just like, but I like cheesecake. I don't take nothing off of it. I'm like, we make our strawberry puree, the cheesecake like homemade and everything. So it's just like it's a lot better. And then the second would be the Oreo cheesecake that we do. That's my second favorite.
Yeah, I got my mom one.
Now, as far as drinks, my favorite is the soju.
And then
that's like a strawberry shortcake energy drink.
Yeah.
And it's frozen, so.
Yeah, I feel like I'm a cheesecake guy. I definitely gotta try cheesecake. I don't know why I haven't yet, but I gotta get that if I could by after this actually.
I don't know how empty your case is right now.
Yeah.
I don't think I got any. Well, we have the cheesecake cups, but not the actual cheesecake.
I don't know what we got.
But if not, I can wait. You know what I'm saying? I'm crazy.
They've been a little busy this weekend.
Yeah.
Because once we dropped the Dubai,
that's what everyone keeps coming in for. But I'm like, we're sold out right now.
Yeah.
We're waiting on shipment. I have so many people in my inbox right now being like, when are you gonna bring out more Dubai chocolate? I'm like, I'm sorry, like I should not have released it.
Yeah,
we're trying.
I promise it's coming back.
Stuff just gets delayed, and like we have plans, and like as a business owner, it kind of gets annoying because like we're like, yeah, we're gonna do this, and then something crazy just happens. We're like, oh, now we gotta wait.
Yeah.
So
like you said, the people don't understand that though. Like you said, from even from clothes perspective, you ordering stuff, it might say 2-3 weeks, but then it comes, a month and a half.
Yeah,
it's like with clothing, I understand that like you start getting your like summer stuff in the winter.
Yeah.
That's when you place your order on your winter stuff in the summer. Because if you do it too close, it won't get there in time. And then you're past that, like when people like already bought all their hoodies and stuff, it's already too late.
Exactly.
And like shipments can get delayed, and it's all crazy.
What's like one of the weirdest things like somebody ever came and requested for y'all to make?
Chocolate dipped chips.
Oh yeah,
Chocolate
that's happened a couple of chocolate dipped jalapenos.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Chocolate dipped chips are fire though.
Yeah.
What chips though? What would chips would you like a
I
Lay's?
just said,
Lay's?
like
it
a
gets like a
Lay's.
sweet chocolate. Because like I was gross. I don't like trying stuff like that.
Yeah.
I don't like sweets, but she loves sweets, so like I'm just like, this sounds kind of gross.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, okay, I understand like why I would like
chocolate dipped chips. I can't imagine that head. I don't know. But you said what else? Chocolate dipped
jalapenos.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not trying.
I'm so like.
I'm sorry, I never did that. I did the chips, and they were good, and I sold them for a couple of days, but like they didn't sell too well because I was buying one little chip. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't know how else to sell them and actually make a profit.
Yeah, because you put them in a bag, they just kind of like crush and stuff,
like,
or the milk chocolate melts if it's not in the heat. So we're just like, we're not doing that no more.
Yeah, so we tried that for a couple of days and ended up not doing it no more. And then I will not try the jalapeno. Yeah. I'm sorry, I won't.
I'm 99% sure that was a high school request.
No, it was old lady.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I never in my life.
I don't know.
Even imagine them two together. But man, I feel like with chocolate, I can imagine like I feel like I don't got a super sweet tooth, but
I feel like that's boys in general because I don't know, like anyone that I know that is a boy, they don't like sweets as much as I do.
Well,
because I can
for
eat
me,
chocolate
it's
all
just
day
the
long.
Mexican culture.
Yeah.
So like for like breakfast and stuff, people want pancakes and stuff, and I don't want that. I want like something spicy. Like I'm not into the sweets. I want something like completely different.
Yeah.
So whenever we go out for breakfast, it's always like a struggle because like I don't want no pancakes or nothing sweet in the morning, and like that's what she craves. I'm like.
That's why we like going to Apple Tree or Uncle Lenny's because they have breakfast and lunch all day long.
Yeah, it's a combination. But I was just gonna say waffles. Waffle, chocolate or waffles, that'd be fine. Yeah. I feel like that'll be because I'm a breakfast fanatic, bro. I feel like chocolate, and I mean.
We've had chocolate dipped bacon.
Oh, that's
someone asked for it before.
That's nice too.
I ain't done that
jalapeno. I still can't get over jalapenos, though. But as far as like 5 years from now, where do y'all see like chocolate covered creations?
That's what we've been. So we were supposed to. We wanted to open a second location last year before we like had to move over here
Yeah.
for like some crazy
So
stuff.
we had to come up with about
It cost us like
$40,000
$30,000 to move over here. So
because
Right.
this place came with no refrigeration, no nothing. It
And
was
that's what
like
the
from
other place
scratch.
had.
The other place at least had a walk-in fridge and freezer, so we had plenty of refrigeration space. Here we had nothing, so we had to get cases for the front, cases for the back, fridges in the front, fridges in the back, cold tops and everything like that for the kitchen. So refrigeration is expensive.
yes.
So in like 5 years, I think we see maybe 4 new locations.
So like, cause we've been
Give or
discussing, we're like, we've joked around about like wanting like 21 locations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then we're just like,
We'll eventually franchise.
Yeah.
we're like, we want the quality to stay the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so like you can't like oversee so many locations. And I only got so many family members to run, that I trust to run
Yeah.
certain locations.
Eventually,
And
we'll
then you
find
gotta
someone
branch
who's not
out,
family that
and
we
like
trust.
it's hard finding employees. Cause like we've had really good employees,
Yeah.
but like we're a coffee shop, we can't pay that much.
Yeah.
So like they're expecting like warehouse pay. Where
Yeah.
it's like it's a coffee shop. Like if you're not upselling things and we're not making a profit, like we can't like pay you more.
Right.
So like we've had good employees, but like it's hard to like.
It only goes so far because a lot of them are like out of high school already. They're
Yeah.
wanting a career for themselves, which we encourage. This is not. It can be turned into a career, but you're gonna have to wait because we're brand new. You
And
know
like,
what I'm saying?
since
Like,
we're new, people are like, they don't like, they're like, nah, they're not gonna grow, or like, they're just gonna stay there, or like, no, we want to grow, but like, there's so many different
we have
business models
dreams. We have
as a
goals.
coffee
Yeah.
shop that we can do. So like, we feel like if you don't have a drive-through, you're gonna like get eaten up by one of those like big coffee shops unless you
Yeah.
go to like a city where like people walk around and
Yeah.
stuff. But then the rent there is more expensive, and like the pay for employees are higher, so like. It's just we're trying
We're trying to figure out where we want to
what
go
business
for our
model
second
we want.
location.
So we're just like, do we want to drive through? Do we want to like walk in like
Yeah.
restaurant like this?
Because like Edwardsville would be nice to go into because it's busy, but also it is very overran and oversaturated with corporate businesses, and
Yeah, like they're
I
getting
feel
a-
like they lean more towards wanting more corporate businesses and less.
They got two
the small
Starbuckses.
businesses,
They
yeah.
got a scooters up there.
Yeah.
They're getting a Dutch Bros, and they're all
Which
like
Dutch Bros
drive-throughs.
is gonna eat everyone.
Yeah,
They're
because it's gonna be the new
Starbucks
thing in
might.
town. It's like so.
I will
we're
say
just like,
Dutch Bros is delicious. I love it.
Yeah, and that's the thing, man. Dealing with, like I keep saying, y'all dealing with corporations, man. It's like you say, scooters and Dutch Bros, or with Starbucks and all this type of stuff, man. Are y'all like, how do you stay motivated? Or obviously, how do you want to get to that level? How do you, what I'm saying? Do
I
you see
feel
yourself get to that level to where, like you said, you got locations across the world?
yeah. So the vision we originally had, we wanted to be like the Midwest coffee shop.
Yeah.
So like Starbucks and Dutch Bros come from California
Yeah,
area,
West Coast,
so we're like, oh, we want to be like the like Midwest coffee shop.
Mm-hmm.
But like then like as we like grow, we're just like we can like expand like that. But then like the quality is never gonna be perfect.
Yeah.
Like cause like we can do it at one shop, but we can't run all these other shops. So then you do gotta find like investors or people that like you trust and like have that same vision and
Yeah.
stuff.
That's
It's just hard.
Yeah, it's
So
tough for sure.
we're like, do we want to like expand this place and make more locations, or do we want to like open a different style of restaurant in town and like bring more stuff to this town and like lift up the town itself?
We've been so back and forth on
Yeah.
everything because
And
like
then-
I like what we have here in this location because it's not like so fast paced where we don't know our customers
Yeah.
because that's what Starbucks is. You're in and out. You don't know the employees. You don't know like the employees don't know the customers. Like we probably know every single one of our repeated customers. We know their names. We know their drink order. We know their kids and a lot about their life. And Starbucks is not like that. Scooters, I know for a fact, is not like that. Like all the fast-paced coffee shops and chain coffee shops, they don't give that same feeling that we give. But like at the same time, like
One coffee shop won't like
we're not
sustain
we're
the
not
whole
gonna
like life.
Yeah,
So we're just
right.
so we're trying to figure out where we want to go still.
Because coffee shops do not make make that much of a profit at all.
So like, I think we want to open at least 6 locations. And like have them in the same area. I want to build like a triangle and have a kitchen and like eat in the middle
like
of
a
each one,
warehouse bakery.
so that I can like ship out to all of them. That's my goal currently for like the next couple of years, but it can always change because we're trying to see.
Because we're also wanting to do like
like
maybe
we
a
love
food place or like we've been really stuck on ramen lately, and I would love to have a sushi restaurant. And maybe do something like that in town because there's what Saturday we used to be what's it called now? Husaka. They have really good sushi there, but like something completely different from them, but also like tie into the Asian culture that we like so much. Or I don't know, Granite City loves a steakhouse because that's all I see all over Facebook is we need a steakhouse, we need a steakhouse. But people complain about everything when it comes to food, so we're like not sure if we want to touch that yet.
Like, since like how do I say, Mexicans do like a lot of like flavorful stuff. And like when I go to a lot of other places, it's like a different like flavor. Like they use a lot of like sauces and like condiments. I don't like that type of stuff. So like the stuff that I would be tasting.
There's a difference between seasonings, like on the actual meat
like,
that you're getting.
I can't trust myself to be like, okay, this is
Smothered
fire
it
for other people, and I'm like, I might not like it. So we're just figuring out what we actually want to do. Because like we do want to expand, but we like the concept of the Starbucks like drive-through and like you can walk in. But we also really like Panera, their concept, because people come in there, work,
they get sandwiches.
So we're just
combination as well.
So we go to like a bunch of different coffee shops and places and see how they work and stuff, and like see like, oh, what can we do to like make our place like more efficient and like inspiration and stuff. So we want to expand hopefully, but we also might.
We're still on that stage where we don't know what we want to do yet. Like
but that's good. Like you say, you say going on 3rd or 4th year right now, so it's still new. But any advice to anybody that's in high school or they have might even be older than us, any advice for them to get started on potentially starting a baking or treat business or a coffee business or anything that they need to start? Like what advice?
The first thing is come up with a name so people can find you easy. So they know what they're like ordering. Social media should be your number 1 priority. Stay consistent. Try and post on everything. TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter if you use Twitter. Everything. Try to like maximize on social media. Go free as much as possible until you start getting into like the bigger numbers and you actually pay for ads. We still don't pay for ads. Everything was organic. But social media is the number 1 thing you want to do. Like it's what like actually helped us blow up. So Facebook helped us blow up a lot.
Marketplace. Whenever I used to do Valentine's Day strawberries, that's really what got my.
You gotta stay consistent. Because you don't stay consistent, like that, like you want to show up on people's pages.
If you're not posting every single day, multiple times a day, you're not gonna show up on people's page.
And it does like make an impact. Like on slow days, if we post something, people are like,
we get a line of people.
See the difference.
So social media is a really big thing.
The days that I don't post anything, we are so slow.
And I noticed that too. Like, I mean, obviously not slow, but like you said, when you post it, you literally got more customers. And it's kind of just like, all right, why not post every day? You know what I'm saying? Why be so cool that you can't post every day? You know? Especially with all this, it's something to post, like you said, whether it's a treat or art or whatever it is, And like I say, man.
On the days that I post my custom order cakes, because for some reason people forget that I do those. And the days that I do post those, I've got literally 15 people in my inbox that same day trying to order a cake.
So I always like social media is the number 1 thing like that we like recommend. And I'm like, don't treat it as like a hobby. Like if you actually want to do something, treat it like the number 1 thing you do.
It is part of your business. Like you have, in order to succeed in this world nowadays, you have to be on social media. Like my main ones right now is Facebook and TikTok. My Instagram does not have that many followers, so go follow me on Instagram. Because I don't have that many. I don't have that many followers on Instagram. But on TikTok and Facebook, those are where my main followers are at. I do not have an X. I probably will never have an ex.
We're trying to get into maybe YouTube and maybe
Yeah.
Snapchat posting and stuff.
Because I would love to see, like, you know, maybe even on YouTube, like, you guys doing tutorials on, you know, probably making a certain thing. Now, obviously, they won't be able to make it as good as y'all do. But that would be, you know, my idea for y'all to, you know, post some YouTube content. You know?
Yeah, so we've been thinking about like other platforms, but like we just do so much things. Like as a business owner, sometimes if someone calls off for a peer or like our case is empty, we come on our off days and like work and like get that
We don't
full.
have off days.
That's what I was just about to ask. How do y'all balance, you know, like you said, you got kids and y'all got, you know, this running this. How do y'all balance the personal life and, you know?
We have a couple hours a day.
We don't really balance it. So like Saturdays and Sundays are like our days off. But I can't stay still, so I'm always here on Saturdays. Like
he's the one who wakes up at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, comes in and proofs our croissants,
so
and sets up for the day.
We have another baker, and 4 of the days she comes in, and then I come in 3 days. Yeah. But I actually come in here every day because like I'm just like already up. I like getting everything done early. Yeah. So like I just get up, and like I'm always here,
not that person.
and I'm just like
I hate waking
if
up
I get there, and then I'm like, well, if I get there early and I start doing the breakfast, I can have the baker start doing other stuff, get creative, and I can just take over the breakfast. That's just what happens. I'm just like, there really isn't a balance. Like we try, but I'm a workaholic.
Our
like
son is
here.
going to pre-K right now, so he only goes to school 2 hours a day. So Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, 2 hours a day. It's right in the middle of the day from 9 to 11. It's so he normally comes in the morning, and then we both take him to school, and then I come in the afternoon while he stays home with him after school.
Yeah, and then around 4 o'clock we switch out. I come and help him finish doing dishes and closing up, and then she goes home for the rest of the time. We just switch off. We don't live too far. We live right behind where Meech lives, so like it's super fast. And
we try and give our son as much individual time as possible, while also on the weekends, whenever I don't have too many crazy orders that I can actually have a day off.
Or sometimes if it's like we're together on Saturdays, we're just like, let's just go get breakfast, and I'll drop you off at the shop, and you can start working on orders.
There's at least a couple hours that we're both here.
I call
separately.
It basically like this is my word I use. I just say control chaos.
Yes.
It's, you know, like you said, it's really like you said.
We know what's going on in our brain, but nobody else does. That's why I have such an issue whenever people are like, "Hey, when are you gonna be at the cafe next so I can come in and talk to you or see you?" I'm like, I don't know.
And like,
I don't know.
So last year
Tell me when you want to come and I'll be here.
Last year was like a little bit easier because her son wasn't in preschool yet. So like he would go to the babysitters there, be there for like half the day, and then we'll be here from morning to like night. And then like,
so that was more of a because pre-K is so weird. I can't wait till he gets off to kindergarten. He'll be at school all day long, and we will have such a set schedule again.
Yeah, because like as business owners, like you have to schedule everything. Yeah. If you don't schedule it, everything just goes all over the place. Yeah. So like, I get here, I get everything prepped in the morning, and then I leave at like 7, and we go and take Ezra to school, and she comes back and she starts baking. Or one of her employees goes to school at the high school at 10:30, so that's from 10:30 to like 12. She's up front, and then she goes to the back, and then she'll switch me out at 4, and I'll come and do the dishes or like help clean.
It's just weird hours because with Pancho having what is it called from school?
He's in co-op.
Co-op. It's where you like go to work in the morning and then go back to school in the middle of the day. Well, at 10:30 or 11. I think he starts at 11.
Yeah. And like another reason, we're a family business. Like everyone that works for me is family. So like if they need a day off for like a doctor's appointment, we can all work around each other. So like our schedule's just always out of all over the place. So we don't really have off days. We kind of just have a couple hours every day or other day.
We do get vacation days. We give ourselves vacation days.
Yeah. See, I like, but I like your whole structure. Like I told even Big Beaches, it's so rare, and it might be normalized to y'all, but it's so rare to have family able to help you, run your business or expand your business. And then also, I know a lot of couples that you argue all day.
Oh, we do.
We do. But for the most part, y'all seem like y'all, you know what I'm saying, do good teamwork.
That's why she is in the back and I in the front.
I have to control myself because I'm such a hothead. Whenever, like, if me and him are already arguing, but we're in the back arguing, I have to, like, calm down because a hear me because I have a loud mouth and I don't know how to.
So I was like,
down.
I was raised as like always work.
Yeah.
And like she's raised like, well, I'm gonna take a rest because I got the time. I'm like,
Yeah.
you could just be going doing more things.
Yeah.
Like, get more done.
Yeah.
Like, but I'm gonna tire myself out, and then I'm like gonna like.
I'm gonna get burnt out
Yeah, she's
eventually.
gonna get burnt out.
And
I'm
then
like,
y'all are not gonna like
and
me
in my
when
head,
I'm
I'm just like,
tired.
it's her business. Like, you can't get burnt out.
Yeah.
So like, I'm
can,
work
that's how
focused, and
businesses
she's
fail.
like, wants like the what's it called? What was the word you used
What,
earlier?
control chaos, or are you talking about?
Burnout.
No, you said I don't even
Man,
remember the word.
but I feel like, man, that makes the perfect balance though. Like, you know, with you being a workaholic, and you know what I'm saying, she's willing to be, you know,
I have to make him so.
It's
Like, I have to
kinda-
make him rest because he won't.
But I feel like that's with me too. Like I don't stop. Like, you know,
Mhm.
I was willing to work 16 hours for the steel mill. Now
Yeah,
it's
that's
like,
what I'm saying.
I can work 24 hours for myself.
Yeah, and it's like if you're not doing nothing, it feels like you're not progressing.
Yeah,
It's just a
exactly.
standstill. So
Yeah.
I'm just like, wow, I want to keep growing. Like, especially now that I'm young, before you get into health problems and stuff, you have to like use your time as much as possible. So when you're in like your 50s, you're like, okay, now I got some time off, and I'm like,
Listen, and I understand that aspect, but at the same time, if I'm not seeing him at all, and we work together and live together, that's a problem.
Yeah, that's a
If
tough
we're not seeing our son
that was a
more
word
than
balance.
an hour,
She's balance based, and I'm like,
Yeah.
work.
Yeah.
So, like on weekends, like I
I
can't
have
sleep
to
in.
see my son and I have to see my boyfriend.
But-
Because if I don't, I'm gonna start being mean, and they don't like me when I'm mean.
But eventually, like the goal, I mean, obviously, like you said, y'all got goals. And what it seems like is y'all trying to reach those, you know what I'm saying, new heights. And it's just like, all right, we're going to work now so we can chill later. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? So I definitely get that vibe from y'all.
Yeah.
And like I say, man, people, wives and husbands, they probably could even, you know, talk at home, let alone have a business together. You know what I'm saying?
I
Obviously,
think we're
you
a
don't
pretty
argue
good
and
team.
stuff. So,
We don't argue
yeah.
too much. It's just normally about small things like, oh, that had 2 pumps of mocha in it. No, it had 3 pumps of mocha. Like just small little
Yeah.
things.
Yeah, that's little minor stuff, but
Yeah.
y'all making it work. And like I said, man, I can definitely see this being worldwide. Like, obviously, that's why America's story and the impact that you have on the community. And like I say, man, I can see this being literally all across the country. You know, so I commend y'all for what y'all doing. I gotta give you some cheesecake. That's my priority next time I see it, or next time I come in, I'm definitely get some cheesecake. Please let these people know where they can follow y'all, or you know they can add y'all on Facebook or whatever.
Chocolate Covered Creations on Facebook. Choco _ creations _ on TikTok, and then I think it's just _ chocolate covered creations on Instagram.
Any, you said, I know you say you last year or the year before you did something for Valentine's Day. Any big things that got planned for Valentine's Day this year?
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
we try not to plan around.
Okay, all right.
That's like our national holiday.
Yeah.
We do,
Okay.
but we
So
don't.
like we don't
like,
we have a set menu.
Yeah.
Like we get a little crazy, especially because it's Friday,
Yeah.
which is payday.
it's Friday this
So,
year, and I'm
like,
so scared because
it's
I already worked 48 hours during Valentine's Day without sleeping.
She stays here like.
I sleep here on the couch for like an hour or 2, and then I have to go back and get started on more orders again. I have to not only fill up the case, but I
All
already
holidays,
have.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
it's so
all the
bad.
holidays, like we don't really like. It's half the holiday we're here and half the
Yeah.
holiday we're at home.
Yeah.
It's just.
Y'all do not plan on seeing me at all on Valentine's Day. Don't answer me. Don't, because
I think.
I'm gonna look like a hot mess and I'm gonna be tired.
Yeah, last year I think we did like what 7,000 strawberries.
Dang.
Yeah.
It gets a little crazy.
Yeah, that's
but
wild.
like my.
As soon as we filled up the case, it was empty within minutes.
Yeah, but my sister, she helps us with dipping strawberries, and she's as fast.
She
I think
has
faster
gotten
than
so
her.
she has gotten
And
so
the
good.
last year, like, that's all she focuses on.
Because
so,
I not only do like the strawberries, I also do the custom
cakes,
cakes and cheesecakes and all of that. And lately, we've given his sister Marisa a little more tasks over the last couple of months, and I promise you, she's gotten faster than I am. So
yeah, no, she dips those things like crazy.
yeah.
So
And don't they have somebody that can do it too? You know what I'm saying? The quality and the speed that you do it at.
Oh yeah.
yeah, that's a.
Because I'm really picky when it comes to dipping strawberries. You have to cover all the seeds. You you have to make it look flawless. Like when you're drizzling, you have to pick up each berry and make sure that it's, it's a certain way that I like doing things, and the person who is dipping them has to do it the exact way that I do it.
And my sister's also a perfectionist, so
Yes, and that helps a
so like
lot.
that's another thing about the business is like everything that we've gotten into, we try to make it like as perfect as possible before releasing it. So people ask us to do food and stuff, but we haven't got there because we want it to be perfect. Like we do breakfast sandwiches like with croissants and stuff, and like our croissant baker came from like another bakery where she learned all that stuff. And like so everything's
They
from
sent
scratch.
her to California to a bakery school in San Francisco, and she learned a whole lot there, which I plan on eventually going. But so far, I'm all self-taught.
And that's always good too, especially now we got TikTok back. A lot of TikToks and all that stuff.
Oh, YouTube was a lifesaver back in the day.
Literally. So, like you said earlier, people buy stuff online. You still got a website going on where they can still buy stuff?
No, we haven't touched the website because so in the beginning we wanted to ship stuff and stuff, but like UPS and FedEx is like, listen, we're gonna charge you like $50 per item. You gotta have it like in an ice controlled box, and if it gets messed up and something is not our fault, it's like we can't really do nothing about it. So we just stopped. We just didn't want to do that at all. Like maybe we might ship like coffee bags or like sweaters and stuff, but we don't really have a website or nothing. We wanted.
Most of our custom orders go through our Facebook page, our messenger. That's how I can keep track of everything. I just write your name on my calendar, and then I go back to your name that's on Facebook and look at your order. And that's how I do it. It's the easiest. If you come in person and I write it down, you're liable to get that piece of paper lost or coffee spilled on it or whatever. I've got a bunch of teenagers that work here, so I try not to do that. But if I have to, I have to. My wedding book is completely different. I have to have our wedding caterings come in person because weddings is just too much to talk about, and I have to see full details of what your flowers look like, where did you get them, what I'm saying, like because I try and match weddings.
So we don't
it's
we don't
hard.
we don't have an online website.
And for weddings, I always have to deliver because there's no risking that cake falling on the way to the venue because that's scary. That's your wedding day, and I would literally cry for hours if I messed up someone's wedding.
That'd be tough, but like I said, man, there's a lot of people. Like I feel like our community is so big that like they want to support. Like I feel like what you said, you are did clothes, and I feel like you should come out with chocolate cover creation, some type of sweater.
We have a lot of custom sweaters.
Okay.
So we monetize on the holidays.
Yeah.
So like we'll have like a sweater.
Yeah.
We'll drop a Halloween sweater.
Yeah.
It'll be like from October to September.
Are we doing Valentine's Day ones?
No, it's gonna be too late. Or design was too late. But we do like a Halloween one in September, October. You get the sweater. You bring it in. You get 10% off your order that day. And so we do like different sweaters with different designs, and I still got the same designer from like my clothing brand. So, but now we just go to print shop here because they do the direct to garment, which you can do a lot more colorful. And like I don't really got to deal with suppliers from overseas. It's just like merch, not like a clothing brand itself. So it's just easier to go that route.
Yeah, for sure, man. Hey, y'all got a good story. Like I said, y'all got some great going on here. Love to see it. I'm right around the corner, and like I say, man, we all should. I want everybody to stick together. We all, pretty much help each other grow in some type of way. And like you said, you will understand the importance of a dollar when you're a business. How one person's dollar circulates, and we just keep it between each other, and that's why that's how our business grows. So I say I appreciate
my
y'all.
perspective from everything from starting a business has changed.
Yeah.
Like if I go out to eat, I'm like, oh, no wonder it costs so much because you've got these people's labor, you've got the ingredients, like everything is overhead.
But another bad thing about owning a business is like we'll go somewhere and we're like, it could have done this better.
Yeah.
So like, and it's not that we're just like we're thinking for like when we went expand, we're like, okay, they did this way. How could we like we just
Facts.
So it's just like how our brains work now.
Yeah,
it's freaking crazy. So
because I like back in the day, I never thought about none of this.
So like, because we do like supporting other coffee shops and stuff, so we'll go to other coffee shops and we'll be like, they forgot this and this, or like we're just it's just crazy like how like it made our minds completely different.
Like back in the day, we didn't do cold brew, and then cold cold brew, like I kept seeing it all over Facebook from Starbucks or from.
Yeah, she was a big Starbucks fan.
Yeah.
She doesn't like it.
I was gonna say now you probably don't even. Yeah.
Well, listen, okay, I love Starbucks back in the day. I would literally get like a 6-shot espresso, and now that I've tasted like actually good coffee that doesn't taste like burnt beans, like I'm just spoiled now, and that's all. Like I'm not gonna like condemn anyone for like a Starbucks. Like their stuff is good. It's just they burn the beans for an equal quality product all around.
Like you say, only like me, I wouldn't know that. You know, like you said, I'm just thinking, oh, this is how it is. But like you said, that's not normal. And I feel like now that y'all educating them, you like, nah, it's better.
Yeah.
This is better than.
If I go to Starbucks, I'm getting a chai because that's the only thing that's like.
Except chai latte, top tier, and I don't think anyone can do it.
Yeah, for sure, man. I got some great stuff going on, man. Like I said, appreciate y'all for letting me come, pick y'all brains, ask y'all these questions, and like I said, man, y'all inspired a lot of young, you know what I'm saying, kids, but also a lot of older people too, you know. So I feel like keep doing what y'all doing, keep growing. Community loves y'all, and you know I can't wait to see y'all at the top, man.
But we do apologize because we're very scatterbrained, so our conversation just goes over.
That's the best conversation. That's the best.
Yeah, she's talking, I remember things, and then like I probably say something, she like remembers it, and it's just like the stories just go all over the place.
We talk over each other all the time.
That's the best conversation. You know? That's the best. Nothing usually the best one when it's scripted, when you just gotta go like, you know, like those just get bored. You're like, all right, man. So yeah, y'all stuff so interesting. It's so many details. It's like it's hard to catch all of them. Like I said, man, if y'all want to support their story, come down here, man. Chocolate Company Creations in Granite City. Y'all open? What's the hours and days y'all open?
Monday through Thursday is 5:30 to 6:30, and then Friday is 5:30 to 8. And then Saturday is 8 to 8, and then Sunday is 8 to 4.
So essentially, literally every day y'all can come down here at different times, man.
Yeah.
And also, I know, like you say, I know y'all got a website on Facebook. Y'all posting the hours too.
Facebook, Facebook, Google, Apple Maps.
Yeah, Snapchat.
Snapchat has our hours.
Yeah, make sure you leave a 5-star review.
Leave a review on TikTok too. It's back.
Yeah, ooh, yeah.
You can leave a review on TikTok. I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's crazy. I didn't know that either. Yeah, like I said, I appreciate y'all. We gonna end it just like that, for real. Oh.